Okay, so paragraphs H and I are at the end of the reading, and we have a subheading, how can we save dying languages? So these two paragraphs answer that question. How can we save dying languages? Fortunately, groups around the world are working to bring threatened languages back to life. These groups are, and here we have two different approaches mentioned. Number one, giving people more opportunity to use the threatened languages. Number two, and are changing the attitudes that caused people to stop using them. So I wrote those two things in my notes over here. So right up here, groups give people more opportunities to use threatened languages, and I put number one. And number two, they are changing people's attitudes. So those are my notes. And that is the main idea there. And then we say one group, this is our example. It doesn't say for example, it says one group that is helping to preserve disappearing languages is the Enduring Voices Project. And we learned about that in the video. This project works to identify language hotspots. Those are places with languages that are both unique and at risk of disappearing. Then the Enduring Voices Project has two goals. So what does it do? It first identifies language hotspots, and this dash is in a positive. It then explains, gives the definition. What is a hotspot? It is a place with languages that are both unique and at risk of disappearing, and that's what our graphic was here, language hotspots. So these are places with unique languages that are at risk of disappearing. Okay, so Enduring Voices Project, what does it do? It identifies hotspots, places where unique languages, where there are unique languages and languages that are at risk. Those are the two parts of my definition of a hotspot. Okay, now it says the Enduring Voices Project has two goals, and as soon as I see a number, I want to start putting numbers in my book to help me here. What does it do? Its goal is to accurately document, that's the verb. What does it do? It documents, it writes, records the languages of those places and to record the cultural information they contain. So it's documenting, making notes and recordings of the language, and then recording the cultural information they contain. So about animals, or about history, or plants, or skills, or any of the other things. Okay, so I've written the two goals here in my notes. Accurately document the language, record cultural information. Okay, projects such as these are very important to the survival of endangered languages. The work of these groups will allow us to pass on a wealth of historical, cultural, and scientific knowledge to future generations. So I put those things. Allows us to pass on historical, cultural, scientific knowledge. And that is the end of my notes. As Enduring Voices team member K. David Harrison says, it would be wrong for us to think that we have nothing to learn from people who just a generation ago were hunter-gatherers, people who live by hunting and collecting food. What they know, which we've forgotten or never knew, may someday save us. So here's a quotation of a person talking about how important it is that we preserve the past. And you'll notice we have a dash here and a dash here, which is another example of a positive. Good job, everybody. We finished the reading.